Hi everyone, Master Liciaga here for Dinoto Karate Center. I do hope everyone is doing awesome today, doing great today. Thank you for joining me today. I want to continue this conversation that we've had started yesterday about overcoming obstacles. And of course, this is another episode of our Black Belt Strong Zone. And I love it doing this. I've been doing this my third week doing this. I'm pretty excited about every day doing this at noontime, Monday through Friday, just sharing what I've learned the 5 decades that I've been involved in martial arts. But before we get started, just wanted to share something with you that I think it goes in line with our conversation. Plus, it's something that's on my heart, and it's about Kobe Bryant. I know he passed away along with his daughter in this horrible helicopter accident, along with 7 other people that passed away in this horrific accident. And but what I did want to say that Kobe Bryant's pursuit of greatness and desire to pass on the knowledge not only inspires me, but it inspired the whole world. I'm seeing all the love and that they have for him and what he has done, but also how he was passing on the knowledge and just touching many lives. And it definitely touched my household because my son Kobe Bryant was my son's #1 role model when it came to basketball. My son's playing basketball and working hard to do his best because of the role model and the model that Kobe Bryant had presented for him. And so my son was very upset. But my son and I discussed how this one man made such an impact in the world. And yes, and his legend, his legacy will never die. It will continue. And so in this episode, we're going to continue our conversation about not allowing obstacles to stop us from reaching our goals and realizing the vision that we have for ourselves. And my son has a vision just to play basketball, be the best that he can in basketball. Where it takes him, it doesn't matter. He was inspired by Kobe, and this definitely setback for him in his heart, and it was hurtful. So we're working through it, but it's an obstacle. And so I want to continue, giving you a tip and #1 consideration, when you're confronted with an obstacle. And so today we're going to share that #1 thing. Okay. And that #1 thing is basically STOP. Now, STOP is an acronym and basically just means this, the S.T.O.P. S just simply means to stop. Stop, which brings you to the T. When you're confronted with an obstacle, stop and take a step back, which is what a friend of mine, Jocko Willink, from his book, Extreme Ownership, says, detach yourself from the situation, step back. And then, and stop is observe. Observe, you first and foremost, your emotions and what's going on in your head. And then what's going on around you, and just stop and observe. Take a step back, observe, and then proceed, which is the P in STOP. Proceed mindfully, thoughtfully, considering every step. Because there's an obstacle there, it'll stop you in your track, it'll disrupt your day, disrupt your moment, it is a disruption. And that's what happened on Sunday. Very quickly, my son and I, Christian had just finished playing a game. He's doing rec ball right now with the 9th and 10th graders with Mount Laurel basketball, and they had just finished doing a game and they lost the game. And so my son and I in the car, we were talking, okay, what happened, what was going on there, what went on. So we were talking about some of the things that we learned from that. And my son was encouraging. He said, Dad, I need a new basketball because the basketball that I'm working is not helping me with the grip because it's so worn out. I said, got it done. And so we went to Dick's Sporting Goods, and while we were at Dick's Sporting Goods, we were looking at basketballs, and we were just seeing which basketball was the best for my son that he felt comfortable with. And then in that moment, there was a lady next to us that had a 7-year-old son who was in rec ball as well. And we didn't know her. It's just a coincidence. And then she was looking for a basketball for him. And then she stopped suddenly and interrupted my son. And I said, excuse me. I just got an alert. Did you get an alert? And I said, well, no, I didn't get an alert. She says, yeah, just said that there was, Kobe Bryant was killed in a helicopter, but I just lost my reception or my connection to the internet. And so my son and I looked on our phones, and my son got it first. He said, yes, it was confirmed. Kobe Bryant was killed in a helicopter. It was probably about maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes later, because as soon as the alert went out, we got it. And then, so I was looking on my phone, and then all of a sudden my son got really quiet. And all of a sudden I saw he was very emotional. And then in that moment, the mom of the 7-year-old, my son, and I just started, tearing up because the impact that it had in our lives. And in that moment, our lives were disrupted. That became an obstacle for us to move forward. My son couldn't focus anymore. We chose the basketball, and he asked if he can go out to the car, wait in the car. And I proceeded to buy the basketball, got the pins, got everything that he needed to continue. So we got into the car. We spoke more about it, and then he spoke about how Kobe Bryant, about a year and a half ago, my son was, into BMX bikes and into basketball, but he was really hardcore into BMX bikes. And then all of a sudden he came across Kobe Bryant. He was, doing what he does to study basketball, blah, blah, blah. And he came across some videos of Kobe Bryant and his mindset and how he played and how he thought. And my son told me in that moment, when he realized that he really related to Kobe Bryant and his mindset, how he played and his thought process. And my son said in that moment, he wanted to go hard into basketball, and Kobe became in that moment a powerful role model for him. And so we spoke in the car about what he was going to do to move forward, and he was very upset, and he said, I just want to play hard. And so he really embraced this opportunity to this obstacle that took him to the next step. So he stopped. We took a step back. We absorbed what was going on, the emotions, and embraced our emotions and tears and hurt and just not understanding why and why it happened. But we proceeded very thoughtfully and mindfully. And as soon as we got home, Christian took his basketball and said, Dad, hey, I'm heading on out and we'll play some ball. So he connected with his friends. He texted his friends, and they all confirmed what had happened, and they were all feeling it, and they all decided to come together. They went to the basketball courts, and they just played hard. I didn't see my son for a couple of hours, and he played hard. His friends played hard. It was just a powerful lesson for my son and for me, that we took this idea, this number one consideration when you are confronted with an obstacle in your life, to stop, to take a step back, to observe your emotions, and then move forward mindfully, thoughtfully, and considering what your goals are, and continuing to move forward in spite of that obstacle. And that obstacle will make you stronger. That obstacle made my son stronger, and he embraced his desire to be the best that he can be, and taking what he learned, what he is learning from Kobe Bryant. And so, guys, it's always hard and tough when life comes at you fast and ferociously, furiously, and you have to stop. Just stop, take a step back, and observe and proceed mindfully. We are coming to the end of the first month of the new year, and I'm thinking that a lot about my family and friendships, especially with what just happened, and the people I want to expand relationships with, and not take time for granted, not take my life for granted. It's something that I learned, several years ago, but I was reminded of how important it is. The news of Kobe hit me hard, hit my family hard, hit my son hard, and that I know that in any given moment, life can come, be disrupted and change. And I will continue to consider that and not take for granted the time that I have. And so as I grow older, I'm learning more and more to adjust and recalibrate what I will spend my time on, with whom I will spend my time on. And today, more than last week, at this time, I am reminded it's just a matter of time, and to get what I want to get done now, whatever it takes, because it is important. It's important to me, important to my family, important to my community, and to get what I have to get done as soon as possible. Do it now with that mindset. Get up when I have to get up and just max out my day, embracing life to its fullest. And that's why I do what I do as a parent, and I do what I do as a teacher at DKC, at Dinoto Karate Center, simply because I believe that the world needs more people to, as possible, myself as possible, to stand up and do the best that we can to be the best role model that we can be. And I believe that that leading the way in discipline and leading the way in courage, leading the way in confidence, in my family and in my community is a responsibility that I take very serious. And that's why I work so hard with Master Donato and all our incredible staff instructors at Dinoto Karate Center, so that we can serve our students, and by creating a structured environment where they can come, our parents can come, and they can bring their children where they can grow and they can thrive and meet and reach their goals, so they have more focus, more discipline, self-control, self-esteem, and have a healthy mindset, a healthy body to realize, to create visions, to create plans of actions and goals, so they can realize that vision. I'd rather do it now than tomorrow. Now, because tomorrow's not promised us. So we only have this moment. And so that's my mindset. That's why I do what I do. Okay, so anyway, so I thought I'd leave that with you guys today. If you want to join our family, find out more about what we're doing at DKC, please go to DinatoKarate.com. You can definitely text me there, 856-278-5282, if you want to find out more. But I really do appreciate you spending this time with me, and because, as you know, I value time. So thank you so much for spending this time with me. If you're a student, looking forward to seeing you on the mats. We have a board bash coming up on Saturday, very exciting, and which is why we're talking about breaking down barriers and overcoming obstacles. And so if you want to find out what the schedule is for today, just text me, 856-278-5282. If you're not a student, please consider becoming a student. If not at DKC, but in a school that you can connect with, that you can really resonate with, that you feel that will meet the needs of your family. Have a great day. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Take care.